Alright, we're back with Shroud of the Avatar. In this video, I'm going to do some refining. Overall, refining is pretty simple. It's this category here within the crafting section. The idea of refining is you take the raw materials that you got from gathering and you turn them into something that's useful, something that you can actually make stuff out of. Refining can also have another layer where it turns it into a component. More of a component. So raw material, refining turns it into a useful item, a useful component, and then can be put into other components generally. Alright, so let's start here. We're going to start with textiles. Alright, so in this instance we're taking raw cotton, which is the most common item, and oops, double clicked it. We're going to double click it. There we go. Put the item up here in the materials section, and we're going to make let's make 5 of these. So we're making 5 spools of cotton thread, and then spools of cotton thread can then be used to make other things. Within the refining section for textiles, you can make bolts of cloth, of cotton cloth. You can make fabric, you can make some ropes, you can make a couple other things. And then once you have these items, then you can go to the tailoring station and make actual items that you can use. But the first step is just taking the raw cotton and turning it into something that's used in other recipes. Alright, let's go to milling station. Alright, so here we're taking raw wood, maple, and pine, and we're simply making timber. And then from timber, we can make actual useful stuff, such as boards or poles for weapons and arrows or furniture or whatnot. And then once you're done with the refining process of milling, then you can go to the carpentry station and actually make the final products. So let's make a couple here, just for demonstration. We'll make 5 of each, 5 maple and 5 timber. And the maximum success chance that you can get is 95%. The fuel in this case is creosote. Hope I'm saying that right. Which you can buy from the vendor in the background, or find it in the world. Hopefully someday we'll be able to make it, if we can't already and I just didn't notice the recipe. Alright, and if you fail, you only lose, in most instances, if you fail refining steps, you only lose the fuel source. So in this case, I'm only losing the creosote. I don't lose the wood, but I do take a durability hit. So when you fail crafting, usually I think, or refining, I believe the durability hit is twice for the tool, like 2 ticks instead of 1 tick. If we can get a failure, we'll find out. So I doubt it at 95%, but you never know. So 32 to 31. So yeah. All right. So that is the basic refining process for wood. Let's move over here to the tanning station. Tanning is the process of making leather from animal hides, basically. The fuel source is going to be curing salt, which you can buy from the vendor or find in the real world. Now they did add salt. Let's make 5 of these. They did add salt. How many can we make? 10? Like 10. So they did add salt nodes in the world. I'm hoping that those salt nodes allow you to make things like curing salt and like cooking salt. So. Eventually, I'm hoping, there'll be ways to make everything, by the players in one form or another. Like that way, there would be almost no need for the vendors, except for to sell you molds and recipes and tools. That'd be great. be great if you could make all the tools yourself too. Of course, you would need tools to make tools, so who would ever make the first tools? That would be the question. But I guess you could create a way to get the first tools. But yeah. And again, there's multiple steps in the refining process for leather. You can make, as you can see, you make the animal hides into leather, and then you can make a leather. It's not really an alloy, but you can make a leather composite, I guess. I don't know, using leather, curing salt, and beetle carapaces to make hard leather. And then I don't have the recipe for supple leather, but I'm assuming it's along the same lines. And the stats for leather, hard leather, and supple leather are different. Same thing for the straps. So you make these components, and then you go make the gear, and based on the material type, like in this example, leather or hardened leather, based on that type, they have different stats in the equipment that you're making. So, all right, so that is the tanning process and basic refining construction. Now we're going to go to smithing. Smithing is where you make ingots, and then you can also make a few other things like coils for chainmail and rings. I think that's about it. All right, so which one should we make? Let's go with silver. Go 10. All right, so one thing to note with ingots is there's 2 recipes for each ingot. You have the base recipe, which takes 4 of the given ore, or you need a mold, or you have a scrap recipe, which takes lesser amounts of the ore, but scraps of that type. Now, silver and gold require silver scrap and gold scrap, which I'm not sure where to get those just yet. I haven't seen any in game, so I'm sure they're there. I just haven't gotten any. However, iron and copper, as you can see, use metal scrap for iron, and the copper ones use metal scrap. Or you can use half the ore and metal scraps. The metal scrap option is the better option by far. The reason it's better, obviously you're using half the ore. And metal scraps are very easy to come by. The easiest method being, rusted weapons. You go kill a bunch of guys, get the rusted weapons, bring them back to the blacksmith station, and salvage them or scrap them, and you get metal scraps. So any bladed weapon or metal armor will give you metal scraps. Wood weapons that have metal in them, such as maces, hammers, axes, will also give you some metal scraps as well. But the biggest easy source is going to be rusty weapons, probably. Alright, so that is the process of smelting. And the last primary refining task is cooking. So we're going to run down to the public cooking station here in Resolute. I was just using public tables. You could use, like, these tables over here are owned by a player, and they're like founder expert and benefactor expert tables. For refining, I have noticed no difference at all between benefactor and founder tables and the public tables. So I'm not going to bother. I'm sure someone will tell me that they're better and that there's you'll get X% higher, but you're refining. You don't lose the main resource, so you're not really going to lose anything. So yeah. Anyway, this is the butcher station. So we'll click here. And the butcher station, obviously you're chopping up carcasses for meat. And I just brought Wolf along with me. The other type of refining would be alchemy. But there's really no real refining with alchemy per se. I guess you could turn fragments into gems, but that's not. That would be refining. But I'm going to cover that in the enchantment video instead of refining, because I don't consider that refining. It's skill-wise is in the production tree, and I don't really consider it refining personally, but it kind of is refining at like a base level. All right, so we're going to chop these up. different types of carcasses will drop different types of well, obviously they drop a different type of item, like wolf carcasses dropping wolf meat, okay, but some types will drop extra stuff, like pork will drop fat and animal bones, okay. Crocodile will drop animal bones. I believe bear will drop just fat and meat. Some meats will give you two type 2 meats per thing, and some will give you one. I believe that's just different meats. However, it could be skill. My salvaging level, or not salvaging, my butchering level is pretty high, so maybe I'm getting 2 because I'm better at it. I don't know offhand if that's the case, or if it's just different meats give you different amounts or different quantities. So that is refining. I'm gonna let this finish off. That is refining the simple way. So, or at least the simple information, the basic information on refining. Next video is going to be probably production, including some refining production, and then actual production of components, and then assembly of components. All right.